Hi everyone, welcome to BookAndBuJo. I'm Debbie and I'm so glad you're here because it is time for TBRopoly for April. Let's go over how I did in March and then we'll find out if I get a reward or a punishment and how many rolls I will be doing. First, we'll go with the reward, and that was triple up one book for 3 prompts. And again, I did not use this, so it goes back in the pile. And that reward was from January or February. I think it was from February. But for March, going into March, I ended up with a punishment, and that was the Spinner Wheel of Doom. And for that one, I got Jade War, and I did read that. And I did enjoy it enough to continue with the series. So far I will be keeping it. We'll see at the end whether I keep the series for permanently or if I'm still up in the air. Then we went to my first roll, which was an even card, and that was to read a romance. And for that one, I read Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake, and I did read that. It was very good. I had a great time with that book. Roll number 2 was another even card, and that was to read an adult book. And for that one, I had to read The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and I am 82% of the way through. Almost done. I will definitely have that finished before the end of the month. Next, I landed on Readathons, and that was to complete one of the TBR knockout prompts. And for this one, I read Watership Down by Richard Adams, and I did complete that one. And then we had a 26 in 2026 book, and that was 5 Broken Blades by Mike Corland. I love that book. Cannot wait to get to the next book of the series. So good. And then I got an odd card, and that was to read a book with a light cover. And for that, I am currently reading Empire of AI by Karen Howe, and I am about 40% of the way through. So I will get at least 50% of the way through before the end of the month, which means that I complete my TBR. So as long as I have them started and I complete it pretty much within a month, then that is a win. And then lastly, I landed on the book club space, and the book club I chose was In Other Words by The Reading and Writing Life, and we read Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter, and that was excellent. That was a very good book. And the mixed media, multiple mixed media aspect to it was a lot of fun. This means I have completed my TBR. Yay, so excited. That means I get to choose a reward. Let's find out what it's going to be. I did complete my March TBR, so I will be choosing a reward instead of a punishment this time. And my reward is to ignore doubles. For my reward, I got Ignore Doubles, which normally would be amazing, but I haven't really been getting very many, so I'm kind of missing them. Now to find out how many rolls I'm going to be doing. Okay, so what would happen if I rolled all of them and then I just chose the largest number that came up? Let's just see what happens. Ooh, 13. I like it because this one came up as 3, 8, 2, 4, 4, 13. What if we did 13 rolls? As you saw, I decided to go a little crazy and just roll all the dice that I had and just choose the highest one. So I ended up with 13. And now on to the rolls. Roll number 1. For March's game, we ended on the book club spot, so that's where I will start for April. So I got my 2 6-sided die, and let's go ahead and do roll number 1 of 7. And that is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's an odd number, so odd card. And that is a TBR game. Roll number 1 was an odd card, and that was TBR game. So I get to play someone else's TBR game. So I pretty much just do one roll in their game, and I chose Library Unbounded's Lord of the Reads, which is super fun. So let's find out the character I'm going to be and see what my role is.
And she has a digital version that you can play, so we're going to go ahead and play that now. I only need to do one roll for it. All right, let's go ahead and pick my character. Legolas. All right, so here we are over at the start, and I only need to do one roll. Okay, I had to move over there because the die is up at the top. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A series. You must continue a series.
I ended up being Legolas, which was super fun, and I landed on continue a series. And for this one, I'm going to choose Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead, the 5th book in the Bloodline series. And this is for the Vampire Academy read along with Sandra from Got a Thing for Things. Roll 2. Whoops. And that is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even card. Listen to an audiobook. Perfect. Roll number 2, I got an even card, and that was to read an audiobook. And for this one, I'm going to choose another read-along book, and this time it's from the Shades of Magic read-along with Stephanie's book verse, and that is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. It's kind of a continuation series from the Shades of Magic series. Roll 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, a challenge card. Oh, review one backlog book. And the negative means I can remove a double, but we already have the ignore doubles, so I guess I can ignore that. Roll number 3, I got a challenge card, and that is to review one backlog book, but it also has this little minus sign here, which means I can remove either a double or a roll if I choose. Which is pretty cool. So this means I need to write a review, so no book to choose. Okay, roll 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. TBR jar. It's always the fun randomness of the trash can. No idea what's still in here. So many things. Let's see, I think I have a lot here. Okay, so let's choose between these two. Oh, the Expanse series or Throne of Broken Gods. I'm not sure what, let me see what this is. Okay, Throne of Broken Gods is the second book in the Gods and Monsters series, and by Amber V. Nicole, and I actually do have that one on my Kindle. So I have this one. I do not have this one. I would have to get this from the library. So I'm going to put this one back in the jar, and we're going to keep this one out. Roll number 4 was a TBR jar pick, and I got The Throne of Broken Gods. And I looked at that, and I was like, what the heck is that? I have no idea what that book is. Well, I looked it up. It is the second book in the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole, and I really enjoyed Gods and Monsters, so I am looking forward to reading this one. Roll 5 of 7. 6. Oh, that would have been doubles, but we get to ignore those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A NetGalley book. What if I don't want to ignore the doubles? We may do the roll just because, just to see what it was. But it won't count towards finishing or not finishing my TBRopoly. I think I'm going to do it that way. Now, roll number 5 was NetGalley. It's been a little while since NetGalley's come up, so I'm okay with that one. And for that, I chose Immortal Gifts, and that is by Catherine Villiard, and it's the first book in the Immortal Vampires series. And it looks interesting, so we'll see what I think. Okay, roll 6. Okay, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 special editions. Now, we did just pass start, so this is for April. So in January, we passed start once, February not at all, March twice, and April now. So that's 4. So no rewards or anything from that yet, but there we go. We're just pulling out all the little jars, aren't we? So my special edition jar. What am I going to be reading? This one. Nope, that's where the lettering is. Oh my goodness, I'm just making a mess. Oh. Well, I guess it's time. It is time. There's the WH there. See if I can get the rest of this open. When Swords Fall Silent. Oof. There we go. When Swords Fall Silent. Roll number 6, I landed on special editions, and so I did my little pull out of the jar, and I got When Swords Fall Silent, which is amazing because I have been wanting to read this for a couple years now, and I still haven't gotten to it. There's only like 14, I think, short stories in here. Now, the short stories are a little longer because it's still kind of a big book, but I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. So, I mean, even if I read one story like every other day, then I can totally get this one done. I don't know why I keep putting it off because there are some awesome authors. I mean, Michael J. Sullivan, Marie Brennan is in here, Andrew Rao, R.J. Barker. We have Bryce O'Connor, Emma Wang, Philip Contrail, J.A. Andrews, Terry Mancourt. I mean, there's some great authors in here. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. All right, roll 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Odd card. Water on the cover. I hope some of these prompts align with Orilium. Roll number 7 was an odd card, and that was to read a book with water on the cover. And for this one, another read-along book. I'm getting all 3 of my read-along books on my TBRopoly, which is great. And that is Rainbow Valley by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And this is the 7th book in the Anne of Green Gables series. Almost to the end. There's technically one more, but then I think there's a 9th one, actually. I don't know if it was originally part of it or not, but if I can find it, I'll read it. If not, then I'm not going to worry about it. Roll 8. Whoops. That was a 6. So 6 and 3, that's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another odd card. Features games and trials. Roll number 8 was an odd card, and that was to read a book that features games and or trials. And for this one, I'm going to read The Last Embers by A.R. Shaw, and this is the first book in the Anslow Ignited series. Roll 9. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another odd card. Forest setting or trees on the cover. Roll number 9 was another odd card, and that was to read a book with a forest setting or trees on the cover. And for this one, I'm going to read The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne, the 2nd book in the Bloodsworn saga. Roll 10. Ooh, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. TBR jar again. So I guess I could pick The Expanse since I just put that in here again from last time, but we'll pick a new one. This one, Gods of the Weirdwood. Nice. It's a good choice. Roll number 10 was another TBR jar pick, and I got Gods of the Weirdwood, which is good because I actually do want to read this one. It's been in my TBR for quite a while. And that is the first book in the Forsaken series by R.J. Barker. Roll 11 of actually 15 now. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another NetGalley book. I'm trying to catch up on reviews, not read more from NetGalley, but that's okay. And then I landed on NetGalley again. I have it on there twice, and I landed on both of them. Must be meant to be. And I will be reading Elevator Quest by Emmanuel M. Arriaga. Roll 12 of 15. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, landed on start, so I do need to add one more here. Another little tally mark. So that's another challenge card, and that is to take a class. All right, I can catch up on my crochet class. Next up, I landed on another challenge card, and that was to take a class, so that's good. I need to kind of keep up with my club crochet classes for my going through a course for my personal curriculum. Okay, roll 13 of 15. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even card. Read a classic. Perfect. Roll number 13 was an even card, and that was to read a classic. And I'm going to choose a book club book for the Well Read Book Club, and that is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and she is the author of The Secret Garden. These last two technically I can ignore because it's ignore the doubles, but I'm going to put them on here anyway. So if I don't get to them, no problem. If I do, great. These two will not count towards the winning of my TBR for next month. So if I read everything but these two, I will still have won my TBR. So I won't get a punishment for that. But I'm going to do the rolls anyway because it's fun. Roll 14 of 15. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another even card. Ooh, a Gothic book. So roll number 14 was an even card, and that is to read a Gothic. And I'm pretty sure that I will be actually reading this one because it is a book club book for the In Other Words book club with the Reading and Writing Life. And that is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And I believe it's also the only Gothic on my TBRs. Okay, last roll. Roll 15 of 15. 8. I can count. That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Another challenge card. A Herkiad prompt. Oh, there's a plus. But there was a minus there. So this one's pretty much like to add a roll. And that one was a minus. So I'm going to say those two cancel each other out, and we'll just ignore that. So a book that fits a Herkiad prompt, which is great. I need that. Lastly, roll number 15 was a challenge card again, and that is to do a Herkiad prompt. But if you notice, this one has a plus sign on it, which means to add a roll. But on my other challenge card, it was to remove a roll. So these two kind of cancel each other out. So there we go. But Herkiad prompt, I'm going to go with the prompt that I still have the most to do on, and that is my challenge prompt of reading all of the Bengali books I own, which I have been toying with how to kind of rephrase that one a little bit because of the secret prompt. I can kind of tweak it a little bit. And I think what I'm going to end up with is read 80% of the Bengali books I own, which means I need to read 14. So I have already read 5. And with that, I'm going to put on Demon's Reign, which is the first book in the series, and that is by David Estes and Bengali. And I'm super excited because I love David Estes. Y'all know I love David Estes. And to get him and Bengali on a book together, that's awesome. I love it. So yes. That's my plan. I was hoping to get a few more Herkiad books in here, but with TBR jar picks and NetGalley picks and things like that, that didn't happen. But y'all know that is not all that I am reading, so let's go ahead and move right into the book clubs. Now I've already mentioned most of these, but let's do a little recap. So I haven't mentioned the Boundless Book Club, and that is with This Story Ain't Over. And we read a nonfiction and a fiction every month. And the nonfiction is Perfect Victims, and that is by Mohammed El Kurd. And that one looks interesting. Most of the nonfiction picks I have enjoyed so far. Actually, there's only been one fiction pick that I've been able to find. I haven't been able to get a hold of the other ones. But the blueprint from last month by Regiana Rashad just became available, and my library just got it in, so I can now check that one out. So I'm excited for that one, but I don't think I got that one into my TBR this time. And the fiction pick is The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami, and my library does have that one, so I do plan on reading both of those. For the Ketchup Book Club, we are reading The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. For Game of Tomes, they are still reading Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I have already finished that one. For Goobers Who Read, it's been crazy so far. Every month, I have already read the book that they've been choosing, and this month is no difference. They chose The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar, and I've already read that one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked it, but I'm not going to reread it at this point. Although I do need a reread for the Magical Readathon. I have to think about that one. And then the Hardcore Literature Book Club with Benjamin McAvoy. They're reading The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And as I am currently reading a Dostoevsky book, and I have already read The Idiot, I am not going to reread that one at this time. That might be a little much. In other words, we're reading Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. So excited for that one. That one has been on my TBR for a little while as well. And then the Well-Read Book Club, as I mentioned, we were reading A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Now for read-alongs, which I have already gone over all of those, but with Sandra from Got a Thing for Things, Vampire Academy read-along, we are up to the 5th book in the Bloodline series, and that is Silver Shadows. For the Anne of Green Gables read-along with Bookworm Wander, we are reading the 7th book in the Anne of Green Gables series, and that is Rainbow Valley by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And then lastly, for the Shades of Magic read-along with Stephanie's Bookverse, we are up to The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Now for year-long readathons. Let's start. For Buzzwordathon, the title prompt is an ordinal number in the title. Now, I did find Abraham Lincoln's first inaugural address on my Kindle. I have that one. It's only 6 pages, but I mean, it's a book. I could read that. But then I did find The Last Embers. It's an audiobook that I got from Chirp for free. And that one is The Last Embers by A.R. Shaw. And it's the first book in the Anslow Ignited series. And I was able to get that one on my TBRopoly. So I think I'm going to choose that one. And that one's only a 5-hour audiobook, so it shouldn't be too long. And she did say that she would take final or last. So I was trying to be good and find like a first, second, third, fourth, something like that. But she did say we could choose last. And since I had a book already that had the word last in it, I went with it. Cover prompt is accessories on the cover that you can wear. She said she originally went for jewelry. And the first thing I saw was rings on the cover. And that is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. And one of the hands does have rings on it. For TBR Knockout, we have 2 prompts for April, and the first one is a book you think will make you cry, and there's a couple, maybe. I don't know if I'll like cry, but I might get emotional, a little teary, and that is Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead, which is the 5th book in the Bloodline series, or maybe A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. One of those 2. I'll know for sure after I read it. And then the other one is Water on the Cover, and that is Rainbow Valley by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And then for Year in Aldia, Luminara is going from 3A to 4A, and she needs to read a book with River in the title. I remember I had this one last year, and that took me forever. I ended up with a children's picture book for that one. I actually really enjoyed it. The artwork was stunning. But this time I found something else, and that is The River of Eternity by Ehud Peled, and that one's just over 100 pages. But it sounds intriguing. Like I'm interested. I want to know what's going to happen, and just from the synopsis and stuff. So I'm excited to read that one. And then Castian is going from a 3D to 4D, and he has to read entirely in the morning hours. And so for that one, I'm pretty sure that A Little Princess by Frances, I don't know why I have so much trouble with that name, Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I'm pretty sure I can get that one done probably in one sitting in a morning, but maybe 2 mornings. So that one should be pretty easy. And then there's 3 month-long readathons that I am participating in. First one is a Vikingathon, and that one runs from March 16th to April 15th. This is a Norse mythology-based readathon created by the Book Dreamers Alley, and that's Anna over there, and her video is amazing. She went all out. She got all dressed up. She stayed in character for the whole thing, and oh, it was beautiful. You definitely got to watch her and give her some likes and subscribe to see what other amazing things she does. So you have team prompts, 7 of those, and then there's 5 character prompts. So I am on team Chainbreakers, and our Norse gods are Loki and his wife Sigyn, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I've already read a couple of the books because this started on March 16th. But the team prompts, you have Break the Chains, a rebellion or escaping an obsession book. And for that one, I read Watership Down by Richard Adams. Disrupt the Order, systems are overturned somehow. I have quite a few books that could work for this on my TBR, but I'm thinking Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead would probably work just fine for this. Burned and Revealed involves destruction of some kind. Warrior Princess Assassin definitely works for this. I also think The Last Embers could work from my April TBR. Truth Shattered. The book is centered on betrayal, and that was definitely Five Broken Blades by May Corland. Against the Odds. Survival tends to be uncertain. A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. The last book in the Shades of Magic series, definitely. Love in the Dark, a book with humor and danger. And so I think actually Five Broken Blades probably could have worked for that one as well. But I'm still trying to figure out what I want to use for that. And I'm hoping one of my April TBR books will have danger and humor in them. I'll have to wait and see until after I read them. But if you have any suggestions, let me know. Outlast the Storm, Light at the End of the Tunnel. That one I'm not sure about yet either. I'm kind of hoping one of my TBR books from April will fit this one. And if you think any of them do, let me know down in the comments. That would be very helpful. Now for each of the teams, you can kind of switch between the team prompts and the character prompts. You need to start with pick one and start that one. And then from there you can kind of go back and forth, or you can do just team prompts, just character prompts, or you can go back and forth. So the Loki prompts are Master of Lies, Deception and Manipulation. Definitely Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang. So good. I really enjoyed that book, but yes. Manipulation. Mask and Mirrors, Hidden Identities or Hidden Selves. Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. Yes. Bend the Rules, a character outsmarts authority. I'm pretty sure I have some books on my TBR that would work for this. I'm almost wondering if the Brothers Karamazov, but I'm still kind of in the midst of what's happening, so we'll see what the outcome of that is, if I can use that for this prompt or not. But I'm sure some of the other books I have in my TBR will fit as well. Chaos Sparks Change, a disorder leads to growth. And I love that. And maybe The Rivers of Eternity or Elevator Quest. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about those books yet. So maybe The Last Embers, maybe Gods of the Weirdwood. I'm not sure yet. I will have to do a little more digging into a couple of these. And then Morally Uncertain, one or more morally gray characters. Well, yeah, I know Gods of the Weirdwood is grimdark, so I think that would definitely work. Hunger of the Gods would definitely work. Silver Shadows could work for that as well. The Throne of Broken Gods, definitely going to have some morally gray characters there. But I wonder if that would work for Dangerous and Humor as well. Possibly. And then we have the Sigyn prompts, and that's Unyielding Devotion, Steadfast Loyalty. So I think Silver Shadows could work for this one as well. Possibly some of the stories from When Swords Fall Silent. Not sure. It'd have to be the majority of the stories kind of have that theme, I think, to use that. I'm not sure about Don't Let the Forest In yet. But I feel like The Hunger of the Gods, maybe Fragile Threads of Power. Some of those books could have a steadfast loyalty in them. Carry the Burden, Endures Hardship in Silence. Warrior Princess Assassin definitely has that. Love in the Shadows, Protecting Someone Secretly. Warrior Princess Assassin also has that one. That was really good, by the way, if you haven't read that. I feel like a lot of fantasies have that somewhere. Not all, but some. Fragile Threads of Power, maybe. I'm not sure about some of the newer books on my TBR because I don't really know that much about them. Never heard of them until I kind of picked them for this. So some of these I'm playing by ear, and I'm not necessarily going to do all of these prompts. You only have to do a couple of the prompts. So Still Waters Run Deep features Quiet Inner Strength, The Fiery Heart by Rochelle Mead. So that was book 4, and I did just finish that recently. So that counts for one of the March books. And that one was really good. And I may still have a couple of the March books that could work. We'll see what ones I finish before the end of the month. Because right now the books I'm reading are 1,004 pages and 890 pages or something. So yeah, I got some big books. And then lastly, Endure and Rise. Character survives suffering. Warrior Princess Assassin, most definitely. Possibly Silver Shadows. Don't know yet until I finish the book to find out what happens. Yeah. Hunger of the Gods. I'm sure there's quite a few of the books in my TBR that will fit that prompt as well. But that one's such a fun readathon, and I would highly recommend it. I am also participating in Battle of the Bands with the Bookish Drummer, and I am on Team Foo Fighter. Go Team Foo Fighters. And for that one, if you read your team prompts, you get 30 points towards your team. If you read another team's prompts, that's 10 points away from that team. And our host for Team Foo Fighters has declared that anyone on her team must take points away from the Bookish Drummers team, which is Team Pink Floyd. So sorry, Team Pink Floyd, but you're going down. According to our leader, anyway. So for Team Foo Fighters, our prompts are book that has stood the test of time, and I'm going to go with the classic, and that's A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I always want to say Frances because of the Hodgson, the H coming up. Frances Hodgson Burnett. Second prompt is, your book has the same color scheme as your favorite superhero, and I am actually kind of gonna go with, I was thinking the Green Lantern, kind of like that green and gold kind of colors, and that is Gods of the Weirdwood by R.J. Barker. Prompt 3 is a book published in the 2020s, and I'm taking a new release on this one because that will help me with Herkiad, and it's a March new release. And for that, I'm going to read The First Witches Club, and this is by Maisie Yates, and this is a March new release. And I mean, it's super cute. Look, it's got a little house on the cover, and there's like little vines and a little cityscape in the background down here. So cute. Next, we have to read a book that has a villain's origin story. And I looked it up. I was like, books with villain origin stories. And I am amazed. I have read like at least half of them already. So yeah, there weren't a whole lot left to choose from. So I kept searching. And I did find one that's a little bit shorter. And it's actually pretty much where I am in the series also, which is a bonus. And that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer, and it's book 3.5 in the Lunar Chronicles. So super excited for that one. I get to continue a series and read a shorter book and find out a villain origin story. And then lastly is a poll pick. So I will probably choose 4 books that are from my TBRopoly TBR and post a poll on the Battle of the Bands Discord and see what everybody chooses. Most likely, I will probably add Silver Shadows, The Fragile Threads of Power, The Throne of Broken Gods, and When Swords Fall. So actually, I definitely got to put this one on there, When Swords Fall Silent. So I'll probably put those 4. And if you would like to join in on the Battle of the Bands, I will leave the announcement video linked down below because it is going to be so much fun. It's always a good time. And then lastly, the one that we all have been waiting with bated breath for is the Magical Readathon with G at Book Roast. She was a sneaky one this time and had mentioned that for those of you graduating, that was pretty much it. We are now off in our careers, but no. She has now created higher callings, and you can continue on with kind of like a doctorate type of thing, master's type of thing, and continue for one more session with your previous characters that have graduated. So I have 2 of those, and then I have 2 that are kind of just starting out. They kind of started last semester, and so now we're going into their second year. I will start with my 2 newbies. So Luminara, she is my overachiever, and she wants to be an apothecary keeper. This is just a certificate, so this isn't one of the courses, but she does need to read 2 books with plants on the cover, and find and document, or take pictures, and share at least 5 different flowers that you find, and you post them in the Discord. So that one's gonna be easy. She has decided to pare down and just do, she was doing 3. She's just gonna do 2. So she dropped the Moon Warden, and she is just gonna do Alchemist and Archmage, which pretty much is every single solitary class on the syllabus, except for 2. But you know, there we go. So we will start with the Archmage because this is her secondary one. And then she goes into Alchemist, which is her main one. So that's her main focus. So between these 2, she needs to take Elemental Studies and that is to read a book with a temperature word in the title. Now, I did look this up online and just said, is this word considered a temperature word? Came back, absolutely it is. And so I'm using it, and that is Into Thin Air. And I forgot who the author is for that, but I will have the book cover up here for you that has their name on it. This is for one of my Herkia prompts as well. And I have heard some good things about it, and I'm very interested. I think the whole climbing of Mount Everest is very intriguing. Like, it's fascinating to me. I would never survive that, but I think it's amazing. I'm excited to read this one. Next, she needs to take Animal Studies, and that is Shadow Wolves. Wolves on the cover, in the title, or as the content of the book. And I actually have a few, and I kind of swapped back and forth a little bit, but then I realized that The Throne of Broken Gods, the second book in the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole, has wolves in it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Caleb. So there we go. And then she needs to take Astronomy, and that is Galactic Outskirts, Top Shelf. So physically, so like that shelf way up there, or top of your TBR shelf, and that's the one I'm choosing, is top of my TBR. So I'm going to be reading the book that has been longest waiting on my TBR at this point, and that is When Swords Fall Silent by all of those amazing authors. And I am excited to read that one and finally get to it and make that one a priority. Next, she needs to take Alchemy, and that is Alchemical Reiteration, reread a book. And for that, I'm going to reread Rainbow Valley by Lucy Maud Montgomery, the 7th book in the Anne of Green Gables series. Next up, Inscription, Dating Intricacies, a day of the week in the title. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know. I'm going to be reading Sunday Under Three Heads by Charles Dickens. No idea what this one's about. I apparently own this on my Kindle. Don't remember getting it. Didn't know it was by Charles Dickens. Don't know anything about it. But it has the word Sunday in the title, so I am taking it, and it's short. Under 200 pages, so yay, that's a win. Artificery. Arcane Device Pairing. Roll a d6 for a series. So if you roll a 2, that's the second in the series. You can re-roll twice. Well, I rolled a 5, and I was like, oh, a 5. And I was like, oh, wait, a 5. Because I was like, oh, Anne of Green Gables, that's a 7, but the die only goes to a 6, so I'm not going to get that. Then I was like, oh, Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead is the 5th book in the Bloodline series. Yay! So, 5 it is. I did re-roll again, and I got a 2 both times, so I just went with 5. Next up is Spells and Incantations. In Fashion, Spells and Incantations, currently on a bestseller list. So I went through all the books that are on my TBRopoly and asked, is this currently on a bestseller list somewhere? And I was so excited when I found a couple. I did find 3, so I'm going to start with a book club book one, and that is Perfect Victims by Mohammed L. Kurt, Conjuration. And that one is the first enticing book you see on social media. And for this one, she was going to read The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. Demonology. Common Demonic Dwellings, a house on the cover. Well, I actually have a few with a house on the cover, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and use The First Witches Club by Maisie Yates, because there's a house. And then lastly, Luminara has to take Lore. Ancient Speculative Lore, a dystopian or a utopian. And I was like, oh, do I have a dystopian? I'm like, the blueprint's a dystopian, but that's another book added to my TBR, which I don't really want. And for this one, I'm going to use The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. Now we move to Castian, who is a little bit more of a slacker boy, especially compared to Luminara. But he still has some goals and ambitions. He's just a little more casual about it. And he wants to be a dream walker and a mind mender. So his skills lie in other areas than physical activity. Now, his class list is a bit shorter than Luminara's, so hopefully this semester goes easy for him. For Castian, he needs to start with astronomy, and that is the top shelf, top of your TBR. And for this one, I'm going to choose one of my Bengali books, and that is Demon's Reign by Bengali and David Estes. Next is Alchemy, which is the reread, and I have no idea what I'm going to reread for this one yet. And then we have Art of Illusion, and that is Alternate Illusions, Unusual Formatting. And I'm like, man, Murder in the Family would have been perfect for this. But I just read that one, and I'm not going to reread that one. Not this close anyway, since I just read it. But I think I'm going to add another book, and that is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night. But I would recommend any of the books from the Illuminate files. Those would be great for this. Spells and Incantations, currently on a bestseller list. And for this one, he is going to read Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Psionics and Divination, and that is reading past and future, word time in the title. And I was like, great, none of my books have the word time in the title. So it's okay, let's just add another one. It's fine. And I did find a book, it's only 63 pages, and that is Time Capsule, and it's by Jonathan Mass. So there we go. Don't know anything else about it, but it has the word time and it's short. Castian also needs to take Conjuration, and he is going to read The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Castian also needs to take Lore, which is a dystopian or utopian. And for this one, he was going to read When Swords Fall Silent, but I already have this on Luminaras. So I need to find another dystopian, but actually, no, I do have one. The Last Embers by A.R. Shah. That one is also a dystopian, so perfect. That's where he's going. Both Castian and Luminara need to take Restoration. So Restorative Adoration. Ask for 5 5-star titles and pick one. So give me all your 5-star titles and I will make a list. I will pick one for Luminara and I will pick one for Castian. So go ahead and leave me a list down below and give me your 5-star recommendations. Now, if you've happened to read any of the books that I already have on my TBR so far and you think they were 5 stars, definitely put one of those down there because that would help me out a lot. As long as there's one I haven't already chosen, right? And then lastly, he has to take Demonology, which is the house on the cover. And for this one, he's going to read A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, because there is a house on the cover. Now we move to Ariel and Karasu, who are going on to their higher callings. Ariel is hoping to be a mythologist. And for this one, you get an extra perk, so requirement adjustment, if you have taken Feywild Cartography, which she did graduate with a degree in Feywild Cartography. And this one, the subject criteria, the books have to be retelling, mythology, word myth in the title, word legend in the title, something like that, which I don't think I have any of those either. But for Spring Equinox, the requirement is to read 4,500 pages. And with the little requirement adjustment of being a Feywild cartographer, she only has to read 4,100 pages. Now, this G did say that you can take up to 2 years to do these. I don't think it'll take Ariel quite that long, but it will definitely take her a couple of months probably, especially if she wants to add in the retelling, mythology, myth, and legend criteria. Now, she can also take Lore and Psionics and Divination if she chooses. And for Lore, that's a dystopian utopian. So she will probably choose Fairest by Marissa Meyer because that one is going to be a retelling and that will fit the criteria for her higher calling. And then for Psionics and Divination, that's the word time in the title. So she will see what she can find. Maybe she can find something with time and legend or time and myth in it. That would be nice. And then we have Karasu, who had graduated with Godseer and Scribe and Tome Binding. Tome Binding was the other one. And he wants to then become an art librarian because that is right up his alley, exactly what he wants. Now, requirement adjustments, yeah, there are none. If you're going for this, you are hardcore and want to go all out. So that's what he's doing. Now, the requirements, the subject criteria is each tome must fit at least one of these categories in order to be counted. So the book has to be either over 600 pages or you read an entire series from start to finish. And this is where taking a couple years comes in. And the base requirement for both spring and autumn is 15,000 pages. So that's not necessarily going to happen in 1 month, but he will be working towards this for the next year or so. But this one is the one that I am super excited about. I can't wait to dive into these. Now for books over 600 pages, there are a few on my TBR, but we'll see which ones haven't been chosen by any of the others during this time. And yeah, I really wish I could have counted this month because yeah, I had a few over 600 pages, especially like The Pillars of the Earth, which is 1,000 pages. And the rest of the series is just as large. And then also Dostoevsky book. That's over 800 pages. That would have been nice to count too, but that's all right. There's a lot of big books on my TBR. But I'm super excited because I have my 13 chunky reads that I had project that I'm working on this year, and all of these books are over 600 pages. A couple of them may be like 603, but they're all over 600 pages. So anywhere between 600 and over 1,000 pages. So I've got some good ones in here. So like the Dandelion Dynasty, all of that entire series counts, and they're all over 600 pages, which is amazing. Mother of Learning, also all over 600 pages. It won't count as a series though, because I've already read the first book. War and Peace, Reign of Shadows and Endings, Ruins of Evermore. That one's up there, you can't see it. But that one's a nice big one. Heartsworn, the whole Forsworn Earth series. I've already read the first book, but the rest of them I can count for the over 600 pages. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. So I am excited for the arts librarian role. That is going to be a great calling. Super excited. So what are your callings? Are you continuing with a higher calling for a character that you've already had, or have you already created a new character that's just starting out in Orilium and is going to start over? I would love to find out what you are doing for the Magical Readathon. And again, I will have all the links below in case you would like to take part in Vikingathon or the Battle of the Bands or the Magical Readathon. And thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to leave me your 5-star books down in the comments below so I can choose for my class. And until next time, keep reading. Bye.